I thought it would be fun to go back and look at the first video game cartridge design ever, and that is the cartridge design for the Fairchild Channel F console, which came out in 1976. If you want the full history on this, you should check out the Gaming Historian's video on the whole thing, but we're going to take a look specifically at the cartridge itself and its box, as we do on Boxography. Endearingly, the Fairchild cartridge releases were all numbered, kind of like comic books or something, and as you can see, this is the first one. Not all of them contained multiple games, but some did, and Videocart-1 came with Tic-Tac-Toe, Shooting Gallery, Doodle, and Quadradoodle. The first two are pretty self-explanatory. Doodle is a freestyle drawing game with 3 colors and 4 line thicknesses, and Quadradoodle automatically draws kaleidoscope-like patterns. Great for parties, it says. One thing I like about this box right off the bat is that when you're holding this, you can feel that the box is exactly the size of the cartridge. There's no wasted space here at all, and it just feels solid to hold. The back has screenshots, which might not seem surprising, but it is kind of interesting when you think about it. Back of the box screenshots are something that seems so obvious that we take them for granted now, but in the 70s, not all console games necessarily had screenshots. They were common, of course, but they weren't guaranteed, so it's cool to see that Fairchild specifically thought to include them on these boxes. There's also the helpful information down here that you can only see the colors if you have a color television. You just know that in the 1970s there were people who called in wondering why their game wouldn't display in color. But let's check out the cartridge, and as I mentioned, you can see that this thing is the exact size of the box containing it. There's a manual as well. This cartridge is so cool to me. First off, it's plenty sturdy, just as good as any other game cartridge and probably sturdier than most. It's a bold yellow, as you can see, which is fun considering that 99% of all cartridges since have been gray or black. It's funny seeing instructions on the cartridge, since you obviously can't read them when the game is in the console. They're in the manual too though, so it's not a problem, it's just funny and maybe a little puzzling. It's got this nice grippy part to pull it out with. There's a label on the bottom. And here's my favorite part. Protecting the contacts is a spring-loaded cover. The cartridge has a moving part. Where else have you ever seen that? The Channel F console was designed so that when you insert one of these, there's an internal part that pulls this open. So as a user, all you do is insert the cartridge just like we're used to with anything else, and the console does the rest. I just love this little cover. As for the manual, it's exactly what you would expect. Simple instructions for playing the games included, no frills here. And that's it for the Fairchild Videocart-1. It's a really cool piece of history, and to me it's fun to see the things that were different about it, and the things that really never changed. Even up through the Nintendo 64, game cartridges were still pretty similar to this design. That's really neat, because again, the designers at Fairchild had basically no point of reference for this thing. But even looking at it today, there's nothing about it that we would point at and say is obviously stupid or outdated, except for maybe the minor thing about the instructions on the label. They simply had a solid, practical design that turned out to be a good way to do things.